What's up, y'all? It's that Sports Kid here with my 2023 Penn State Nittany Lions season predictions. Let's get into it. Last year, Penn State had a very good year. They went 11-2 with a Rose Bowl win over Utah. And this year, their season odds are 9.5. That's their over/under. So should be another solid season from Penn State. There are 16 returning starters, 8 on either side of the ball, and 6 Nittany Lions were drafted in this past NFL draft. Their recruiting class ranks in at 14th in the country, and their transfer class was 53rd. Their big recruiting class consisted of Javon Williams, a 5-star offensive tackle, and the #1 player from Pennsylvania, as well as a top 25 national ranking and a top 5 offensive tackle rating. Along with him, there is Alex Birchmeller, probably said that wrong, another offensive tackle ranking in at the 3rd best offensive tackle, strangely enough, even though he is a 4-star, not a 5-star. Interesting. Top 100 national player and the 2nd best player from Virginia. The other top player in this class is King Mack. What a name, from Fort Lauderdale, plays safety, 4-star, top 100 player, top 20 player from Florida. Those guys help make up this top 15 class. 1 5-star, 12 4-stars, 10 3-stars. Transfer class was a little bit underwhelming, I'd say, with 1 4-star and 5 3-stars. Only 2 of them are going to be starting. Might be good, might be bad. Dante Cephas, I think, will be a starting receiver, transferring in from Kent State, part of the massive Kent State exodus. Everyone's leaving Kent State. My personal ratings for Penn State this season, I'm giving them an 8.5 on offense. Should be solid. We are going to have Drew Aller as a true sophomore, starting at quarterback probably, and then Nicholas Singleton, another true sophomore, starting at running back. There are a lot of upperclassmen on the offense, but quarterback and starting running back are both very young. I think they have some good running back depth too. Yeah, Katron Allen also going to be there. Pretty solid. Yeah, pretty solid. Defense, though. Defense is elite. I'm going to say it. As long as everyone stays healthy, this is an elite defense who should be one of the best in the country. The defensive line is insane. The linebackers, well, here. Defensive line is probably in the top 5 in the country. Linebackers are also probably top 5 in the country. And the defensive backs are maybe the best. This might be the best defensive back room in the whole country. Just fantastic defense. And they should be elite. Here is the schedule. Pretty interesting. They scheduled West Virginia. I believe it's a rivalry. As their best out-of-conference game. Then 2 sucky teams out-of-conference. Then, you play a Big Ten schedule. Of course, that'll get you a C on the schedule difficulty. We started out here with West Virginia, who I think Penn State should win against. They are forcing the Mountaineers to head north to State College, where I think Penn State should just be better. West Virginia is not great. Their head coach is on the hot seat. Penn State should just solidly win that rivalry game. Next up is the Delaware Blue Hens. Fun name, fun team. But they are FCS, and I can't favor any FCS teams over Penn State. Penn State should dominate in that game 50 to nothing. Although Delaware did beat Navy last year, that was a big win for their program. I don't think they're going to be able to do something similar against Penn State. Third game of the season, and we do start Big Ten play. The first game of the conference schedule is Illinois on the road. Now, last year, not last year, 2021, Penn State was ranked in the top 10, and Illinois beat them in 9 overtimes. I think that is an NCAA record for overtimes. Illinois got the best of them in that one. I listened to it on the radio, on the car. I don't think Illinois is going to be as good as they have been. They might drop off a little bit. Maybe not as they have been, maybe as they were last year. I think they're going to fall off just a little bit. They might be able to stay same record, but I think one of their losses is going to come from the Penn State Nittany Lions. Week 4, Game 4, is against Iowa. Iowa is one of the better teams in the Big Ten West. They are probably competing for that Big Ten championship spot, winning their side of the conference, along with Wisconsin. You could argue that Illinois is also fighting for a Big Ten championship berth, but they're all around the same in terms of quality of teams. And right now, I think Penn State is better. Penn State might have a better defense this year than Iowa has last year. And as long as they can score some more points, I think they should be much better. Next is not Illinois, Northwestern. They are from the state of Illinois. Not the University of Illinois, though. This is a road game for Penn State. I don't think it's going to matter. Northwestern is hot garbage. They went 1-11 last year with a loss to Southern Illinois, which is FCS, like Delaware. Just dreadful. Just absolutely dreadful. And Penn State should blow the doors off them. I could see some like miracle Northwestern keeping a game close, like they did last year against Ohio State. But it's rare for them to keep a game like this close, and I think Penn State should win by a lot. Next up is UMass. UMass is another team that is hot garbage. They are just terrible. They play as an independent. They don't have a conference. They are just bad. They're just bad, and I think they consistently play FCS teams very close. And for that reason, I'm going to say that Penn State gets a big win in this game. Next up is Ohio State. This is a road game for Penn State. This is probably the biggest game of the season, honestly. Road game, 7th game of the season, looking to be ranked in the top 10 still, maybe top 5 if they're undefeated. Should be a very big matchup between these two teams. A road game, of course, heading to Columbus. Ohio State has beat Penn State for a while in a row. Penn State hasn't won in the last 5 years. I could see them breaking that streak with this pretty good team. I might give them another year. The defense is pretty young. Two, maybe 3 seniors on the defense. Might want to give Drew Aller another year to develop. I think they can keep it close, but in the end, I think Ohio State's probably going to win. Although it should be a good game. Both teams have a lot of new starting players, key positions. Should be close, but in the end, I think Ohio State squeezes it out for another victory to add on to their streak. Next up is Indiana, who is another hot garbage team. Oh, look at that. I didn't know there were so many terrible teams in the Big Ten, because we only ever talk about the good ones. There are a lot of really sucky teams in the Big Ten, and Indiana is one of them. They were good in 2020, and they really have sucked since then. They play every year, and it's been a while since Indiana won this game. It was actually 2020. Okay, whatever. Penn State should blow the doors off them. I don't think Indiana's trying for football anymore. I think they're focusing on basketball right now. Next up is Maryland, who I think is actually a competent football program, and they are very slept on. They go on the road. Penn State goes on the road to face Maryland. I think Maryland has to really fight for this win. If they do win this game, this definitely solidifies them as one of the better teams in the Big Ten East. They might need to win another game against one of the top 3 Big Ten East teams. But very important year for them, I think, with Tua's brother. Penn State's travels, I don't think that really matters. In the end, Penn State, on paper, as of the preseason, should win this game. Honestly, it would be cool if Maryland won, but, you know, probably a lot of Penn State fans watching this, so I'm not going to say that. Should be on paper a win for Penn State, but I could see it being close. 3 more games, 3 sort of good teams. Start out with Michigan, who's actually good. They have a pretty put together, I want to say elite, but I'm not going to say elite. Pretty good team, and Michigan does travel to State College. This is another big game. Of course, Ohio State and Michigan are both the best teams in the conference. Penn State fighting for the 3rd spot, and they could really probably put themselves in the number 2 spot, maybe number 1 if they... Number 1, absolutely, if they beat both of these teams this year, but at least the number 2 spot in the conference if they beat one of these 2 teams, and I think they have a better chance to beat Michigan. We're a little bit farther into the season, a little bit more experience for your young players. Of course, same thing goes for Michigan, but I assume this is going to be a whiteout game, definitely the biggest home game of the season. Penn State should keep it close. They haven't beat Michigan or Ohio State since 2020 when they beat Michigan. 2020 shouldn't count. They beat Michigan in 2019. But Michigan's actually good, so I could see either team winning this one. This is probably like a big noon kickoff. Probably a night game, actually. It'll be a big deal. It'll be a really big deal for 2 teams that should probably be undefeated. Penn State maybe 1 loss. Final 2 games in the season, we got some crummy teams. Start out with Rutgers, another bad Big Ten team. No one ever really talks about how many bad Big Ten teams there are. Interesting. The SEC is just so much better than the Big Ten, honestly. Rutgers sucks. Rutgers invented football, but they've never really been good at it. And they suck. Finally, we have Michigan State. This game's being played in Detroit. I don't think it's usually played in Detroit. But this year it will be. Very strange, I think. And either way, I think Penn State should win this one. Detroit, it's weird though. Michigan State might be having like some stadium renovations that I'm not been aware of. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Is this like a real rivalry? Because you'll play every year at the end of the year. Or usually recently it's been at the end of the year. I feel like it's a rivalry, but I don't know. If you're a Penn State or a Michigan State fan, let me know in the comments. Is this a real rivalry or a fake one that is just made up? My projected record, gonna give them 10-2. It would be a very good season. I can't say that they're gonna win against Ohio State or Michigan. I can't say that. I'd like them to beat both of them, actually. I have nothing against Penn State. Like them. Don't like Ohio State. Hope they win. On paper, right now, I think they should be competitive, but I don't know if they can pull off the victories in the end. Still in toss-up category. I think they could win. They probably have the talent to win. We'll have to see what happens. Let me know down in the comments, what do you think about this Penn State Nittany Lions college football team? How are they going to do this year? You agree, 10-2. Are they going to beat Michigan or Ohio State? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment. Yeah, thanks so much for watching, and until the next one, peace.